First story. Girlfriend planning have a gangbang in girls trip. I don't know how to do a TLDR, so please forgive me if I get it wrong. Girlfriend went on girls trip. A best friend of her called me and told me that she has cheated on me. Her best friend didn't give me proof. I confronted her and she denied it, asking why I didn't trust her. I asked for one of the guy in question's phone number. When she gave it to me, I later found out it was one of her other friend's numbers. When she went to block him, she deleted it when I questioned why the number was different. I 33M and my girlfriend 33F have been together for 13 years. This past month, she has been as active with me, neither wanting to kiss me or touch me. When I asked about it, since we've always been active together, I got told it's because she works with elderly men who flirt and hit on her all the time, so I didn't think anything of it. My GF went on a girls' trip with two of her best friends. One of the girls I've talked to a lot while hanging out with my girlfriend. Before my GF returned from her trip, she asked me to not come over and to let her have a day to rest since she has not gotten any sleep on her trip. I did not think anything of that either, so I went and visited my parents instead. She called me and long story short, she came with me to eat with my family and watch a movie. We then went to her house afterwards. I was about to take a shower when one of her best friends, the one that I've talked to a lot, messaged me and asked if I had any plans. I told her that I was planning to propose in the following weekend, as I would have 3 days off. She then told me that she had something important to talk to me about and called me. The friend informed me that while on their trip, she and the other friend were talking to my GF when GF told them that she had given oral to a co-worker while on break, and was debating going further with him. GF went on to say that she was supposed to go and meet with him at a show he puts on later in the week, but was debating that too as she loved me. The friend began to apologize to me profusely, saying that she couldn't go on knowing that I was going to propose while GF was doing this. They've known for a while that I've had a ring and was planning to propose. The friend informed me that GF was debating on whether to block him or not. The friend apologized again to me and we ended the call. I left the bathroom shaking badly and looked through my GF phone, to which she got up quickly, took it from me and began doing something on it. I then asked her if we could speak in her room. I asked her about the guy and another guy that was sending her nude pictures. I've seen messages from him pop up on her phone, but she explained that she needed his number to get her work schedule from him, to which she denied everything and kept asking me who told me this. I would ask to see her phone, but she would ignore it and keeping asking me who told me this. When she did give the phone to me, I saw nothing. I then left the house and drove to the backyard since I was shaking too much to drive on the road. I called the friend back and asked for more details and if she had any proof or anything to show me. She told me that my GF had met one of the guys and had been discussing a book involving BDSM. The friend then told me the name of the book and that my GF and the guy had continued their conversation over text. The friend also told me that when she had asked my GF if I ever checked her phone, my GF told the friend that she was not worried about it, as I only ever get on her phone to send pictures of herself to me. Not naughty photos, I just loved having pictures of her to look at when I'm having a bad day. The friend couldn't send me any kind of proof since they do not save their chats on Snapchat. The friend continued to apologize to me while crying. We then ended the call. I was lost on what to do and sat there staring off into the distance, being unable to think. She asked if we could talk and I told her we could. She came out and got into my vehicle. We talked while I drove us around. She explained to me that that conversation had not happened and that she did not do anything. I could tell that she had been crying. I asked if I could have the guy's phone number since she still had it saved, to which she gave it to me. I was then asked why I didn't believe her. As we drove, she reminded me that it was this friend that had told me about this, that had been discussing cheating on her boyfriend while on the trip. and that maybe she had done this to discredit anything my GF would have said to her significant other. When questioned about the book incident, she named off the book specifically and told me that the guy was not involved in that conversation whatsoever. During the drive, I asked her if she could block the guys that I had mentioned to her. She said yes. On a side note, we have had an issue in the past when we were first talking. She had told me a guy was flirting with her at work. Later on told me that they had hanged out after work. She also told me more or less that it was my fault. She also pointed out his house to me another time while I was driving. Since I had no concrete proof and loved this woman more than anything, I believed her. I got us food, took her home and cuddled with her for a while. While we were laying in bed, she started to block the guys. I noticed that the number she had given me was different from the number she had saved for the contact. As she was hitting the delete button, I moved my finger to swipe up. When she noticed what I was doing, she hit delete before I could do anything. When I asked about it, she told me that it must have been a different number and that she had given me the correct one for the guy. I shortly left and drove home. While on the drive, I did a quick reverse search on the number she had given me, which came back to a friend of hers. When I first asked her about it, she denied it and sent me what she had as her friend's number. Shortly after that, she admitted that it was her friend's number, and that she had given me that one since if I asked the guy what had happened, he would have spread rumors around her work about her. She is now texting me telling me that when she goes back to work, she will get the number for me so I can talk to the guy. At this point, I think I know what the answer is, but I would like opinions. Update. Yesterday, I woke up to GF spam calling me. I went outside and sat and talked with my parents while she continued to call. I finally messaged her after she said she was going to come over that I needed some time alone. After talking with my parents for a while, I sat inside and read over the comments. In the crazy of everything, I had forgotten that I was somewhat smart and recorded the talks. I found where she had shown me messages with a guy I had previously asked her to block. When asked why she still had it, she told me that I only told her to block him on Snapchat. After watching the videos, I packed my things and left the house. I drove and parked at Walmart and called GF since I told her we would talk. I explained to her that with her jumping for the phone that it was a flag to me. She explained that she went and took it from me since I was not answering her. She has done this before with different items and was not deleting things but looking to see what I was looking for since I've had trouble with her phone before. I then told her that lying, trying to hide the number, and deleting it before I could look was damning evidence that she was hiding something. Again, like last time, she told me she was worried that rumors would start and that she would lose her job. I then told her that her job is notorious for rumors like this to get spread, and I doubted very highly that she would get fired. That if thus had happened in reverse, I would not have given a second thought about my job. She then asked, "Does that mean your mother is cheating on your father?" My mother has worked at this job before. She told me she was trying to look out for our future together. I then told her that I was nothing but her safe boyfriend and that these guys were giving her attention that I apparently could not give to her. After this call, we ended the conversation and I began to drive home. While driving, my mother called. I told her that I wanted so badly to believe her. My mother told me that with everything that has happened and been said, that it points to her cheating. That in my stomach and heart, I know already that she's either cheated or started to. She also told me to be gentle when leaving her but to be upfront about my reasons. We then ended this call. I called GF back after I had pulled over and in a soft tone I told her that with everything that has been said, and everything you've done, I cannot trust you anymore, and I'm done. GF, I'm done. She then said, "Are you really breaking up with me over the phone?" To which I said yes. She then complained that why couldn't I have done this in person. I let her know again that I was done. I told her that I wished nothing but the best for her, and that I hoped the next man she gets with treats and provides her with everything that I could not. She then hung up on me. I called my mother back and told her what I had done. She explained to me that it was going to be very hard, but I should be feeling some relief now. Which in a way I was. Mother talked to me on the way home. I was nearly home when I broke down hard, not afraid to admit I cried hard. GF messaged me later that night asking if we could talk when she got home. I told her that we could. We talked about the same things, asking me why I couldn't believe her. We talked for a while about the same things, and she shortly got off to take a shower where we continued to text each other. While texting, I learned that with the one guy she had gotten the picture from that she had previously sent him an "I'm bored" message, but told me that it was because I was not answering her, and when I did message her, she dropped the conversation. I told her that I'd been through once where I had seen they had snapped back and forth. She told me that it was just small talk about work and nothing sexual. First, she told me the conversation was about her trip, then her work, and then both. I also found out that she had attempted to get a guy over that her aunt has previously tried to set her up with, but told me that he had canceled to go to his friends. I told her that I could not believe she would do such a thing and that if I ever had done that to her, she would have left me the second she had found out. She then told me that her and her aunt had told him that she was in a relationship. They were just friends and she invited him to go to a zoo. I asked her how she had gotten the number for the guy she supposedly gave oral to. She told me that she had seen him and he had asked for her number. I asked, "So did he flirt with you before or after you had the number?" To which she told me after. I told her, "Then why did you not delete the number?" She told me that she just didn't and had honestly forgotten about it. I can't lie here. I went off on her saying that it's crazy how, from me not texting her back, she decided to text another man that she's bored. That's flirted with her. I said, "God forbid. IDK, how many times I've been unable to text you back since I was in a situation where I could die. I don't want to say what I do for work. Nice to know, too, that you can just forget their numbers. What's even worse is that you're only telling me this now because I've started to call you out on what I've seen. I also find it funny that you would rather protect your reputation and job than provide me a way to ask for the truth. You deliberately hid his number from me to protect yourself and your job. There's other jobs we could have found for you and ones you would have liked to, and the only reason you told me the truth was because I told you I was going to bed, which made you either worried or scared." She then sent me this. I was texting picture guy about work, nothing to get his attention. I'm aware you can die on this job. Why do you think I always call and text and always tell you I love you and to be safe? I forgot I had his number. BC, I don't text him, no other reason. I have offered to get his number again so you could ask him, and you said no. So, and not just for the job, for us a life so we don't just bank off of your income. This job pays more than a pharmacy, so I took this job until I can move into the pharmacy. And the guy she said she blocked was texting me about his women problems, not trying to get in my pants. I blocked them. I have offered for you to go through my phone. I have done everything I can. I didn't tell you, BC. There wasn't anything to tell. I didn't flirt or do nothing with them. I then started to catch her changing stories about who texted who first and what I had written earlier about the topics changing. She had told me that she sent the first message to him, and now it had changed to her starting the conversation. She then tried to convince me that with him asking wide and her texting back that she had started the conversation. I told her that she was wrong. After telling her that it was crazy to answer a wide text from a guy that has hit on her constantly, she told me that it wasn't that kind of wide, that she had told him to quit flirting with her months ago at work. She stopped texting me back, and I went to sleep. This is what I have from yesterday, and there's been more today. She wanted badly to talk to me and said she was coming to talk. Extra edit. Today, I was talking to the friend who told me. She said she had messaged the other girl on the trip asking why she didn't tell me the truth. And this is what she had to say. GF is legitimately the only true friend I have. The only difference it would make with me saying something is I would be down a friend. I believe that me has all the information he needs to draw his own conclusions. I also believe that it wasn't our business to tell, so I'm going to stand by her on this one. All that's left is for her to suffer whatever consequences come from this. She came over and we talked. She ended up giving me her phone. I went through it and texted one of her friends, the other one that was on the trip. Long story short, she confirmed that GF had told them about giving her all. GF started telling me that she only told them that story to cause drama and to make the two friends bond over it, since they don't get along. I also saw where GF was texting another friend talking about the message above. It also showed the one that messaged this saying that I don't think you GF should have done stuff while you and BF were together. It also showed that GF was told to make sure to delete her Apple Cloud. She again told me that it was to make them bond on the trip. So I have everything I need. She's lied over and over to me, and someone who commented was right. I was hoping she could convince me, but this is too much for me. Cheaters never stop. Update. Just a small update for the 1 or 2 people asking. I've blocked her on everything. She was begging me and telling me how she can only see herself with me and still denies doing it. I can't believe what she says, and I thank you all for typing your opinions and beliefs. It's helped me a bunch being able to talk it out and hearing everything. I believe now she's a narcissist and had me in a deep trauma bond. For now I'll be working on healing and making myself a better person. Hopefully she can learn from this, and hopefully I can learn as well. Again, thank you all. Luckily, she never liked to hang out with my friends much, so they don't know her. The only friend that could have gotten us in contact would have been the one that told me everything, and she's already blocked girlfriend at this point. I can't deny that I am a little worried that she may try something, but hopefully she does not. As of right now, she has no way to be able to contact me unless she finds me in person. Ironically, she told me she had been cheated on before and would never do such a thing. Guess that should have been a flag in retrospect. She's staying blocked. I packed up all of her things, folded her clothes nicely and packed the gifts she's made me. Left them by her garage so she will see them when she gets home. Update. Hello all, did not expect to make another, but here we are. Now she was able to message me off of one thing that I forgot to block her on. She came over and told me that it did happen, but that she was forced to do it and had to bite his D to get away, and she was gonna tell me the day her friend called. She told me that after it happened, she had called her best friend, and the best friend convinced her that nobody would believe her. So when she went to tell the friend that told me about what happened, she changed it from being that she was raped to the cheating on me, because she couldn't stand the pity and confused eyes her friend was giving her. I told her that it was crazy that she told her best friend over me in that situation, and that it was terrible, also that she couldn't trust me, because I would have been the first person there to stood by her. Told her that it was crazy that she told her best friend over me in that situation, that I would have been the first person there by her side. So I then asked her, then why would she texting him while on the trip? Because I was told that she was texting him. She said that it really wasn't him. It was someone else, that she did that, so it really did look like she was cheating on me to her 2 friends. So I asked why she would come up with that kind of lie. She explained that the friend she called after it happened convinced her that nobody could believe her because it's happened to her before. I will say that the first time this kind of thing happened to her, it took her a long time to tell anybody, so nobody believed her. She went on to tell me that the day we got to see each other and go eat with my family was the day she was going to tell me. So since her friend told me first that she was cheating, no matter what she said, that I would not have believed her, so she continued lying and gaslighting me and manipulating me, hoping that I would believe that she just didn't cheat. She also mentioned that I could ask her mother about the bruises on her cheeks after it had happened, but I haven't. She also told me that she told the friend that convinced her to lie, that they were done being friends, but now she's telling me it's just hard to break up a 10-year relationship as friends. It's still just lying to me, and it's back to being blocked for her. While we were talking, I explained to her that doing this and coming over and telling me that it was rape after everything just makes it look like she's telling me this in an attempt to get me back. A lot more was said and I might write it out, but honestly it hurts speaking to her. I do think she just told me this in an attempt to get me back, though her story made more sense with it being a rape thing. I told her she needs to tell her dad and boss about this, and she said she knows but that she needs time and doesn't want to speak about it. She said it was hard to tell me the truth even when her friend told her not to. She said it wasn't actually him. She was texting it was another person, a friend of her best friend that told her to say that it was her cheating instead of rape. Said she was having trouble trying to tell me to, because I got told she cheated first and she thought that I would only believe that she was cheating and not that she was actually raped. Not necessarily a friend, just somebody she had met from work. He had waved her over a time before, got her number and started flirting with her, and she left and then she conveniently forgot she had his number. Ironically enough, she said she was done with that friend. But now she's told me that she can't break up a 10-year friendship and that she'd be all alone. Trust is gone and it hurts. Now, if that actually did happen, I look like an F for leaving. No, she shouldn't have put herself in that situation, but if I said that it would just look like me, victim blaming her. She got into his truck since she couldn't hear him outside of it. He lifted the console to look for something, left the console up, grabbed her hand and started moving it to his D. She pulled back and he grabbed her by her hair and forced her down. Used his other hand to make her open her mouth and made her do it. Then she bit him to get away. It's ironic how hard they fight to keep you after they cheat on you and you go to leave. Nothing's ever their fault and they never did anything. That's what I was thinking. And why I found it funny that she told me that she had told her BFF that they were done but is now telling me they're still friends. She's just not going to spend as much time with her. Ironically, I have yet to see that. More or less have done that, and she told me that she needs time. She also said she wouldn't do this if it was fake, because then it would mess his life up. Duck that. Second story. Married my cheating wife is the worst mistake of my life. I, 36M, and my wife, 42F, have been together for 9 years. Backstory: my wife cheated on a business trip and has been eating at my soul. She met a guy at a bar, introduced by a female colleague. They had some drinks in a group and had a great conversation. She said she was drunk and ready to leave when she asked her female colleague to take her to her hotel to make sure she was safe. And her female colleague asked the guy out to take her to the cap. At this point, she should have realized the kind of situation could be escalated, and she was putting herself in. But she said she in the vulnerable status and made sure she got to her hotel safely. When they dropped her off, the guy grabbed her to the bed. And then the female colleague started making out with the guy and they hook up in the same bed. And one thing led to another. After the guy finished her colleague, he started doing my wife. They use no protection. Honestly, she said she hadn't felt that way in a long time. She felt wanted, something that has been lacking in her life. The next day, when she woke up undressed alone in the bed, felt dirty, disappointed, and the guilt set in. Somehow, I found out the next morning her female colleague texting me the details and say sorry. I immediately called her and confronted her. At first, she started to deny it, but I told myself I needed her confess. She never lied to me or kept a secret from me. I truly believe she would have ended up telling me that day anyway. When she came home from the trip, it wasn't the same loving house I remembered. She have wrecked our family. She won't touch me and has told me she wants a divorce. Fast forward 3 months, we are trying to reconcile and have agreed to commit to marriage counseling. I've felt so much happier that I've been seeing a counselor almost once a week since she got back from that trip. I've grown and realized that I didn't have self-awareness about who I was and the kind of pressure I was placing on my happiness. I feel like I've let me down over the past 3 years, but our lack of communication and failure to really work on our issues compounded the problem. I always felt like my wife and I were connected spiritually and emotionally. Recently, I've had a bad feeling, so I decided to go through her messages. I found out that she reconnected with an old boyfriend from high school, and my world, which had already been turned upside down by her infidelity, sank deeper into depression and heartache. She's been messaging him, saying, "I love you," and the messages have gotten more intense, with him expressing how he'd love to be with her and wake up next to her every morning. She's even agreed to meet him the next time she's in town. I don't know what to do. Should I confront her, or should I just let her go out with this guy and hope that she realizes she's making a huge mistake? I don't want to lose her. She's the love of my life. Please, if you have any questions, I am open to give answers. I am trying to get perspective.